Options Tender. It is Saturday. Welcome to the weekend edition. If you are new here, go down to that bottom right hand corner, hit that Options Tender logo, and subscribe. Tons of information to go through today, so we're going to go a little bit rampant here. We are going to check out SPX on multiple time frames using technical analysis, and then go to VX, SPY, options expected move, QQQ, IWM, DIA, BTC. Check out all those things. All right, here we go. SPX on the weekly time frame. You know what? Let's jump up to the monthly just so we see that candle. We're getting near the end of the month. Whoa. And we're regaining the lows. We have not regained the 8 EMA. So a little bit of caution, but a nice bounce so far. Didn't quite come close to that. Didn't quite hit that 20-week month moving average. But that's okay. All right, so looking a little healthier on the monthly. Haven't crossed over on the MACD yet, and still well into bullish territory on the RSI. Okay, down to the weekly, we have consolidation and then movement, consolidation, and then a breakout back test of that consolidation. What do we have? Movement after that, and then we consolidate a expanding range there. Broke out from that range, and we had now back tested it. This market is starting to move with the volatility. Also, just the expansion of price, we should see a nice move after this. But the question is, are we going to go straight up to all-time highs, or do we have some consolidation to do, similar to something like this or a sideways triangle? You know, we talked about this in other videos, that we're looking for some sort of triangle or flat. We had a complex correction here, double zigzag WXY, but it came right into this beautiful target of this rising pivot from the megaphone previously, where the consolidation was. So we don't suspect it could happen. We don't suspect that we're going to go any lower. But the question is what we're going to do, either sideways or the correction's over and we continue to the upside. I want to play the more cautious scenario where we move sideways into a triangle or perhaps a flat pattern. I think that would make more sense. Consolidation before making another big move to the upside. Okay, so that's obviously the bullish scenario. I'll talk about the bearish scenario just a little bit later. So you see how the weekly, we have a possible wave 3 ended into 4 and one more, perhaps one more move to the upside. Moving on to the daily. Trend is our friend. You see where we're back testing that long-term trend line. And we have the end of wave 3. Now, after this wave 3, we have this ABC down. We thought we were going to be done from that point, a 3-wave move down. And then we'd move sideways at that point. Well, we made another low. So this looks like a larger W, X, for a 3-wave move up, and another 3-wave move down for a Y. All of these are ABCs, ABC up, ABC down. Okay, and now after this, so this is a larger 3-wave move than what we anticipated. And now do we go test the highs, come back, test the lows, test the highs, test the lows, and consolidate in a triangle sideways for a while, or just a much larger A, B, C, and then move higher, or the last situation, which I don't think is as likely, we just start moving higher from this point. Okay, so that's our scenarios. The bearish scenario would be that this is a beginning. This is a 1, a larger wave 1, which would mean that this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for an impulsive wave down to a much larger wave 1. And then we're going to correct for a wave 2, and then we're going to have a much bigger move, wave 3, down to the downside. Okay, so looking at hand, what do we have here? We have a follow-through candle We closed above the 8 EMA, starting to get a little bit bullish, constructive, looking good. Overcame this 4,300 area. So beautiful. Previous support, and then resistance, and then we broke above it. So looking pretty good there. I suspect we'll continue up just a little bit higher on the squeeze, maybe test this 20 and 200-day moving average before heading back down for a wave 2, possible 1, 2, or an AB before continuing up. Okay. What else? We captured the 8 EMA. Let's look at the MACD. MACD, we had this positive divergence as we made a lower low. That gave us an indication right into the 382, by the way. We came short of the 382, and that was a little skeptical at that, and so that should have gave me a clue that we're going to go lower. You can't always depend that we're going to hit it, but we did. And so that's a huge part of this, that it was confluence with positive divergence into this rising pivot and the 382. That's a beautiful thing. And so that's a great place to go long there, which we did. All right, so we had positive divergence. We're trying to make that cross. We're going to need a couple more days to the upside before making a bull cross on that MACD. All right, here we are triangulating in the RSI. Came back down, made a higher low on the RSI, so that shows some relative strength. Made a lower low on price. That was another indication that we might be headed higher. And now we have this downtrend line that we have to break through there to get to the 50 and above. And hold on one second. Okay, now we're gonna check out VX. Okay, so we're just in backwardation at this point on the VIX. We could go lower in the market and go a little higher on the VIX for a better resistance, but I'm just not sure. I'm not convinced that that's actually going to happen. So we did back test this downtrend line, and we're holding it. So there is some life for the bears. Maybe we start making if we make another lower low, then that's a real big buy signal there. But unless we start breaking too much support and breaking the charts there, but showing some life there. We're in slight backwardation. We go on this trade tab and we look at 17 days out. We're trading with this nice volume here, and we're looking at $27.35. You go to the a date 53 days out or 81 days out, and we're looking at a little backwardation where the future is less volatile than the present. All right, let's go to SPY just to check out that volume, see if we have any confirmation on some of these moves. We had a massive move to the upside, and we also had massive volume. So that was a nice confirmation that the low may have been in with capitulation and lots of buying, and I think it did. So we're going to take these pivots out. We didn't hold there. It didn't hold as resistance either. So we came right back down to this rising pivot. Just amazing what technical analysis can do. We had this 382 I have on there. I'm not sure that that's where. Yeah, we had the 382 spiked through it on the weekly and didn't close underneath it. So that, I mean, that's still valid that it comes to that point. Let's go over. We did confirm this on the volume. Let's check the SPX expected move for the week, just to see what our playing field looks like coming up for next week. Okay, so we had this expansive range here, started to break way underneath the options expected move, came back and closed above where we started the week. So, it's probable. If you're not familiar with options expected move, check out one of my other videos. I'll put a link above. And then, this is our playing field for the week. Price typically, and a typical situation, stays within the options expected move. The orange line here, this is the start of the week, and the orange line here. So next week, we're looking at about a 121 points essentially, and we're starting off the week here at 43.84. So we're expected to stay within or even touch these lines at 4,500 or 4,250, or even both in some situations. So we're looking to stay within this range. It kind of gives us a, like I said, sidelines. These are like the sidelines. This is like the midfield of a football field, and we can play within these range. All right, QQQ is up next. Checking out QQQ, we have this rising pivot. I did move that line. This pivot I had going just a little bit different, but since we had that huge move off of here, I moved the pivot to line up with some of these touches, and it looks really, really good there. Also, with price coming into there, just like the SPX, we have a positive divergence going into it, and this looks a wonderful move. Now, this is a different setup. We didn't come not only to the 382 to the 50%. We came all the way back to the 618. This is actually really, really good, in my opinion, to load up on tech names, because what I'm seeing from this, and you can kind of label this different ways, but if this is a massive 1-2, and this is not necessarily wave 3, which it could be, that would be a really deep wave 4. I don't like a wave 4 to go to the 618, but we'll have to keep that in mind. It did not invalidate by crossing over the wave 1. So technically this could be a wave 4, but coming out so deep, this to me is a 1-2, 1-2. And that'd be a very bullish situation where our wave 3 is going to go much higher. So that is super bullish. Now, if we want to continue to be conservative in this, in the QQQ and the tech names, if this is a wave 4, then we're probably going to be looking for some consolidation sideways, just like the regular market. We'll just have to see. We'll have to play this by ear. And sometimes the QQQ drags everything else up with it while it launches off, and then the other ones kind of hold back the SPY, and different scenarios play out and different counts happen. So you got to play each individual names and also indices separate, yet you have to see the influence that they have on each other. All right, IWM. IWM, kind of the same scenario. Now, it's right in between the SPX, which is, it seems to be in a much more bullish stance, and then the QQQ, which seemed to be in a much more bearish stance. And now we're flipping that. With QQQ being set up for a much larger move. This one could also be a 1-2 setup as well, where we're at the 50% retracement. That could be a wave 2 or a wave 4. So either way, we're going bullish. But is this a 1-2, 1-2? Possible. Or this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a wave 5 to finish off our series, and then see what happens after that. So don't get too bullish on this, especially with the QQQ setting up like that. We'll just have to watch it as we go, and we'll keep interpreting it by the information that we're given. And I'm not going to do DIA today. I mean, we could take a quick look at it. I didn't change the counts and check things out. That's not what we wanted. So I got to fix this, but as far as we know, we had a 3-wave move down. I got to check out, well, I guess I'll do it right here since we're on this. If this is a wave 3, let's see. We came back down to the 382. We're in the same kind of situation as the SPY, so we'll treat it the same, and we'll move on. BTC, Bitcoin. Bitcoin's still following the same wave count. This one did not make a lower low. So Bitcoin seems to be leading the market, and that's a risk barometer. So we're going to definitely be jumping into some BTC names. We're looking at a wave 3 coming up here real soon. We have a ABC. We'll play this as a 1, 2, 3, and then take off some risk as we get to the end of wave 3 and see how wave 4 plays out. We love playing the third wave of every move. That's very important. It's the easiest trade. So this one is possibly going to go retest at that 1618 at about the 5800 excuse me, 58,000 area. And you see how it lines up right here, right with the this resistance at this point. So that will be our target at about 5,800. My Patreons, they'll know exactly what the levels and targets are as we go through. So don't forget to jump into these names. Mara, Coin, all those influenced by this. And BITO is the BITO is the ETF for that. So that's where we're going to end it here with a bullish note. We don't have a bearish scenario necessarily on there until we get and test out these areas here, and then we'll see what kind of pullback we get. All right, so thanks for joining us here, Option Sender. Have a wonderful rest of the weekend. If this information helps you out, please hit that like button. It helps us get this information out, the algorithms moving, so we can show other people what we're seeing. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.